Welcome everybody, it's Monday 18th of October 2021. I'm happy that so many people could join today the ITTF Foundation video conference. Welcome everybody, and I'm happy that you could make your time. My name is Wiebke Schäffler, Head of Operations, and I will guide you a little bit through this conference today. So the agenda for today, we will start with a report since our last video conference. Then we will give you an outlook of what is planned in the next year. And then we have the already mentioned questions and answers session. We are honored by many speakers who are joining us today. First, they are listed now in order by appearance. We have our ITTF and ITTF Foundation President, Thomas Weickard. We have Petra Sörling, ITTF Vice President and ITTF Foundation Board of Trustees Chair. We have Ryu Sung-Ming, IOC member, ITTF Executive Committee member and ITTF Foundation Ambassador. We have Jame Motibi, board member of the International Working Group of Women in Sport. We have Hajira Kaji, ITTF Gender Commissioner. We have Mayra Ranceiro, she is the first ever black table tennis champion in Brazil. We have Maisab Saibs, she is IOC Young Leader and World Table Tennis Day 2021 promoter. We have Her Royal Highness Princess Zaina Rashid of Jordan, ITTF Foundation Governing Board member. We have Bruce Burton, ITTF Vice President and ITTF Foundation Governing Board member. I'd like to welcome now Thomas Weickard and give you a warm welcome in his words. Thank you very much. Thomas, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Wiebke. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night to all my friends and our friends all over the world. Yeah, it's, the foundation is part of the ITTF group vision, and the foundation, especially the foundation, is embracing the motto, table tennis for all, for life. But is it a real life, online life during the pandemic? I think it's not. It's something like a substitute, and we are happy that we could communicate online. But now we are really happy that 4 out of 5 our projects in the table tennis dream building have restarted. Ghana, Peru, Tonga, India, and we are now on the field again and can work there. And this is our job, and not only having it online. Therefore, I'm really happy that hopefully we see us all, at least a part of you, in Houston. We in the foundation, we had a really hard time, but we did our best to support our member associations in very difficult times. I remember the earthquake in Croatia. We had the Croatia association to overcome many other natural disasters, but at the end we helped, and I think we had a good outcome there. So hope you are all healthy during these difficult COVID times, and then happy to see you all again, and hope we have a successful conference. And I'm also happy to see you in Houston. Thank you very much. Have a good conference. And back to you, Leandro.
Thanks, Thomas, for your kind words. Thanks for the introduction, Wiebke. It's a pleasure to be with you again. Thank you for coming today. And we will recap over the last year, and then we will go over the outlook and the next project that we are preparing, and it's on the pipeline. It was indeed a tough year, mainly because of the pandemic, but we are here to restart. We are restarting with all our activities. And just to give you an overview, we are part of the ITTF group. The ITTF group is composed mainly and firstly by the ITTF. Since 1926, the governing board of table tennis globally. The commercial arm of the ITTF group is World Table Tennis, and the ITTF Foundation is the corporate social responsibility arm. And today is the presentation about the foundation, but there will be 8 other video conferences before the AGM in Houston next month. And what do we want to do? We want to do a table tennis for a better world. That's what the foundation is doing. We support, we guide, we inspire, and we lead. And what we use as a better world, we consider that the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals as the basis for what we believe is a better world. And just to start, I will give you a brief overview. We are here in Leipzig, Germany, and I am proud to present what is the structure of the foundation. We are mainly composed by a governing board with 5 members. Our president is Thomas Weickard, has just spoke, and the ITTF Group CEO Steve Dainton, Her Royal Highness Prince Sina Rashid of Jordan, Bruce Barton, who is Vice President of the ITTF, and myself as Managing Director. And the task of the governing board is to show the direction the foundation is taking and doing the right things. And the second group is the Board of Trustees. The chairperson or president is the Vice President Petra Sörling. She's chairing the Board of Trustees. The mission is to ensure that we are doing the things in the right way. And she's followed by Nestor Tenka, Vice President of the ITTF. And at this moment, I would like to present you our team, which I'm very proud that is of them and the way they are working now after 1 year with some lockdown and difficulties to meet at the office. Now we are full-time, every day coming to the office, and I want you to see what are the faces behind the emails and behind the names. So I will pass over the microphone so they can introduce themselves.
Hello again, my name is Wiebke Schäffler, Head of Operations. I am passionate for making the world a better place to live in. I am passionate for making processes more easier and more efficient. When I'm not involved in strategic, legal or financial aspects of the foundation, I keep track on who is doing what, when and how. I connect people with resources. We are doing good things and I ensure that they are done in a good way.
Hi, Corinne Tiao from the ITTF Foundation, Head of Programs. I am originally from France and Singapore. I work every day together with the team to make table tennis for good a reality and work towards the UN SDGs, the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, and making sure table tennis is one of the most developed sports in this area. Thanks.
Hello all, my name is Saurabh Mishra. I am originally from India and I'm a sport for development expert. I'm the programs manager here at the ITTF Foundation, and I support the ITTF Foundation members and partners enhance the contribution of table tennis to the Sustainable Development Goals through strong project design, policy development, and impact measurement through monitoring and evaluation. Thank you for joining us for this meeting today. We look forward to a really fruitful session.
Hello, this is Ramon Ortega Montes, Moncho. I was working last 8 years in development first and education later, trying to develop table tennis. Now, since last month, I'm working in the foundation trying to develop from table tennis as a tool the Sustainable Development Goals of United Nations. I'm the programs coordinator and I'm in charge of dream building of different programs, World ITTF Parkinson Championships, and table tennis tables building courses.
Hi, Jia. I'm originally from Taiwan, and I've joined the ITTF Foundation 6 months ago as a communication coordinator. I'm leading all the communication efforts here at the foundation.
Hi, I'm Chiara Bodukat. I'm from Germany, and I have joined the foundation last year as a translation intern, and now I'm doing a federal voluntary service and have become the World Table Tennis Day project manager, and I hope to see you all on April 6th next year.
Thank you very much. So we now give the floor to Petra Sörling. Petra, can you please welcome our audience?
Thank you so much. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, table tennis friends around the world. It's a true pleasure to have the opportunity to say some welcoming words before today's important session. We have a very special year soon behind us, but proudly today we will see how much work that was done during this year within our foundation. I would today like to mention Fempowerment and our teamwork within sustainability. As every year, the international table tennis community commemorated women in sport at the occasion of the International Women's Day on 8th of March. However, this year will go down into history as an important milestone, since for the first time gender balance and female empowerment in table tennis has been addressed comprehensively and holistically across all the three entities of the ITTF group. The 5-week Fempowerment campaign served as a warming up session and led to the 6th of April and this year's edition of the World Table Tennis Day, fully dedicated to female empowerment and gender balance to serve as a call for action throughout the international table tennis community. The first step was the online panel discussion, namely the Conference on Gender Equality and Fempowerment. The event was open to all and eventually attracted almost 200 participants. The conference was opened by Mrs. Hajira Kaji, the ITTF Gender Commissioner. With important welcoming remark, she said, "Leaders have a collective responsibility to ensure that future generations must understand their responsibility to protect gender balance." It was also my pleasure to attend as part of the panel, and my personal takeaway was, among others, when women support each other, incredible things happen. But also, as to move from awareness to change, we need to work together across gender and fempower all year long, not only on the 8th of March or within different projects. Moving to sustainability, the only way forward, as I used to say, in sport in general, and in this case table tennis, I see a big potential. In ITTF, we started up the sustainability working group just before the pandemic. Unlike many other sports out there, table tennis is perfectly well suited for all ages and for all people. Sustainability means to ensure table tennis for all, for life, forever. At the heart of the ITTF Group's vision is to make table tennis accessible to all, for life and for future generations. To achieve this, the sport must make its mission to focus its efforts towards 3 key areas: people, planet, and profit. And we will now work even harder in this field to launch long-term programs and to increase diversity and inclusion in order to make also the table tennis industry more sustainable. The global goals have the power to create a better world by 2030. Guided by these goals, it is now up to all of us to work together and to build a better future for everyone. Sustainability, the only way forward. Thank you all for taking part, and I wish this session to also be a very interactive and fruitful one. I now hand over to the video and some nice highlights from 2021. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your kind words, Petra, and thank for your usual support to the foundation. I will go back one slide as we have one of our staff which is on duty, and she wanted to introduce herself by recording a message.
Hi everyone, I'm Julia. I'm from Germany and I joined the ITTF Foundation roughly 2 years ago as a consultant. Currently I'm the Global Programs and Operations Coordinator and in charge of the TT for All program. My background is I studied sports science and my master's sports and nutrition, and during that time I also did an internship at the United Nations Office on Sport for Development and Peace. Thanks.
Thanks for the introduction, Julia. And now we'll go to a summary video of what happened since the last presentation a year ago. So part of the activities are from last year and part for this year. So we would like to recap in a short summary video. So I hope you enjoy our video. That was a recap of the last year since the last AGM presentation, video conference. And I would like to go to the PowerPoint presentation of the 2020 and 2021 so far achievements. There is, you saw that they were already nominated for 3 awards. I can update you that this last week we were also nominated for a 4th one. So keep your fingers crossed. We will see how it goes. But I will go to the achievement from this year. Last year, the staff growth from 5 to 8 full-time employees, almost all of them here at the headquarters in Leipzig. And despite the COVID and despite the pandemic, we are restarting and we are increasing ourselves. The second biggest achievement for us is that the Global Sports Development Foundation from the United States extended the collaboration and duplicated the financial support. That's a big help for us, and we thank GSD for that. The ITTF Parkinson's World Championships were held in Berlin after 2 times being postponed because of the pandemic, but finally it was done, very successful. You can see a video in our website. Great activity, and we're very proud of it. The fourth is that the TT United fundraising campaign. We launched this campaign together with the ITTF and together with World Table Tennis as the ITTF group, but the foundation is empowering and leading this fundraising campaign to redistribute this funding and equipment to the ITTF family, to national associations, to clubs, to players, coaches that are being in troubles because of the pandemic. We stand together with our family during this period of pandemic. So we raised more than $400,000 US, and we supported more than 100 initiatives through this fund. You can see an article on our website that was just published about it. And then the Emergency Relief Fund, that we created a protocol on how we support an ITTF member association when there is a natural or human-made disaster. And in the last year period, we supported the Lebanon Table Tennis Association after they had a blast and social crisis. Then the Croatian Table Tennis Federation because of the earthquake they suffered, and Afghanistan after this political turmoil during the recent period. So we are supported by the European Union through 3 Erasmus Plus projects that are going to be published very soon. And the last point is Sport and Dev. Sport and Dev is the leading platform in sport for development based in Switzerland, and we were invited to join their steering board, which is an honor for us. So some overview about our programs and projects. As you know, we have 5 programs, and I will go through them. Dream Building is field projects that use table tennis for a better world, and using the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals as the basis, and they have to be inclusive, sustainable, and a tool for development and peace. So we restarted our projects, and you can have an overview here. We have 10 projects, 10 different projects at this stage on the field. In Ghana, in Kampala, Uganda, in Peru, in Colombia, in France, using table tennis for people with Alzheimer, tackling the gender, going toward the gender equality in India, helping the children in slums in Kampala, or in Kenya, and in Peru, working with children from disadvantaged regions. And these are our 10 projects that we are currently running, but also we have 2 more projects in refugee camps, in Satari and in Asrak. And then going back to the previous slide, concrete results from the first batch Dream Building Fund 2019. I remind you, we support this project for between 2 and 3 years. And in Kenya and Uganda, new scholarships to attend the secondary education. In Ecuador, home visits and online sessions with young refugees and their families, mainly refugees from Venezuela. And in the Netherlands, integration of former refugees in a former refugee in the coaching staff, and in France, the project for people with Alzheimer. 5 other clubs have integrated to this network. So that's the idea. One club starts, the famous club Le Valois started with this project that we are supporting and monitoring, but then this network will expand to more clubs in France and ideally more clubs in Europe and globally. So we are starting from the bottom. As I mentioned, dream building with refugees, 2 activities, 2 projects in Azraq and in Satari. They are mainly Syrian refugees in refugee camps in Jordan. We recruit also a female coach, and we have weekly session for people with a disability. The Dream Building Fund 2022 has been announced, but the project will start next year. So this is the 3rd batch of project. So we're receiving more and more applications. This time we received 134 from 29 countries. Now we are in the process to select them, and there is a panel of experts that will select, depending on the budget of those projects, 5 or 6 projects that will start next year. But the important thing is that more and more people is interested in our Dream Building Fund. What they need to ask for our support is use table tennis, be a non-for-profit organization, and submit the application. The application process is already closed, and now we're in the phase to select the best project for the next year, running for 2 or 3 years. Emergency Relief Fund. It is when there is an association, a national association, suffering from a natural or a human-made disaster, we support them through an application, and depending on how it affects, how big is the region affected, we will provide more or less funding to them, sometimes equipment as well. But just to recap, in 2019, we supported Iran because of the flood they suffered. In 2020, Lebanon because of the blast in Beirut, and 2021, Croatia because of the earthquake. So you can see some photos from Croatia in this slide. But the next one just happened a month ago. We supported the Afghan team to attend and play a World Table Tennis event, a star contender, and also the Asian Championship, both in Doha, in Qatar. So I would like to thank Qatar Table Tennis Association for their support, and also for providing invitation, wildcards for the Afghan players. And the 3rd point was the visit to an asylum seeker compound. Qatar is being a hub to assist Afghans to flee from the country, and we visited one of these asylum seeker compound together with the ITTF leadership. It was a great experience. As you can see in the photos, probably you can recognize, we had the chance to make the Afghan players play with the local children that are Afghanis and then fleeing to different countries, but they had the chance to play with the football star David Beckham. You can see their Afghan team. You can see also Petra Solin, our vice president, playing with them, our deputy president Khalil Al-Mohanadi playing with David Beckham. We see also my colleague Munir Besa also helping coordinating this activity, and that's a luxury for a young kid that is being instructed and helping to learn the Greek by Polona Chehovin, HPD director, and then you see a photo with the whole team in the compound in Doha. And last but not least, you can see here a photo of our group CEO, Steve Dainton, playing with the Afghan team. They used to call him the father of Afghanistan. He's probably too humble to say, but he was leading one of the first CSR projects of the ITTF back in 2004, and going personally, at that time working in development, but going to Afghanistan to help them to reestablish the activities of the National Association. Thanks to Steve for his usual support to the ITTF Foundation, and for having his heart on CSR always. Then we have the Athletes Emergency Fund that was created together with the Athletes Committee, as you can see here with Soran Primorac and Ryusen Ming and Sarah Hanfu, our ambassador. Together we created the Athletes Emergency Fund when there is a situation, an accident, or an elite athlete in an elite level playing international competitions, suffering any health conditions, you can apply for this fund. This is the one that we expect, and we hope not to use it, but sometimes things happen, and we are ready to provide support through this fund. TT Legacy is another program. We make the table tennis lifestyle a sustainable one to ensure table tennis is for all, for life, and forever. So it's based on 3P, people, planet, and profit. And we run projects connecting Buenos Aires Youth Olympic Games with the Tokyo Olympics and Paralympics. And now it's overarching all programs, the sustainability. So there is a new group created, the Sustainability Working Group, but our Vice President Petra Soling already mentioned and reported about this topic before. TT for All, we want to make table tennis accessible to the broad public, focusing on different kinds of people in terms of gender, social status, culture, physical activity, and on the inclusion of disadvantaged groups. As you could see in the previous slides, we have to adapt table tennis for the people to join us. And the main project within TT for All is the World Table Tennis Day. You have some slides here, and the topic this year was Fempowerment, 24 hours online stream on April 6th, promoter initiative, and you can see all the purple countries who took part of the World Table Tennis Day. So March 2021 was the Women's Month. So this is the logo we created, Fempowerment through table tennis. And the activities were a webinar together with our colleagues from High Performance and Development, then a workshop together with our partner Tafisa, the leading organization in Sport for All, a weekly training session, Master of Skill, and on the same day, on the 8th of March, a live panel discussion by HPD together with ITTF Foundation on gender equality and empowerment in table tennis. So we launched a digital campaign. That's our aim, to promote more women as a model, as role model for the children. So that way we have more children, more women, not only playing, but also officiating and as leaders. And we also use, in a positive way, we use them to provide a positive message and empowering the women. So we did a 24 hours online stream. You can see on top the new logo for the World Table Tennis Day. It's a refreshing version. The previous one had 6 rackets, each of them a continent, but now that Latin American Table Tennis Union and ITTF North America are together, so that was old because there are 5 continents now. So we took this opportunity to refresh our logo, which is composed by the three colors, or the colors of the 3 brands in ITTF group: ITTF, World Table Tennis, and the ITTF Foundation. So we have 24-hour online stream with different players and talking about empowerment and providing online classes and watching some amazing matches, doing workout and so on. So we launched the promoter initiative. We want people on the ground to promote what we are doing for the World Table Tennis Day and to combine the passion for table tennis and tackling social issues. People with the World Table Tennis Day spirit. So as a result, 614 girls and women joined clubs thanks to the promoters. And you can see some graphics there. But now I would like to present you a summary video from the World Table Tennis Day 2021. Fempowerment was the topic.
exclusive empowerment.
Join the World Table Tennis Day.
So I hope you enjoyed this summary video. Thanks to all the players and personalities involved in the World Table Tennis Day this year. The next thing I would like to present to you is Table for All. So we can see the slide, Table for All. It's a next project that we are preparing since a couple of years and now it's getting ready. So we know one big challenge for the table tennis community is the lack of available material and the difficulty to acquire tables. And the solution is passing on knowledge and producing table tennis tables locally in a sustainable way. And one of the challenges, probably the biggest challenge with our field projects, is that after we stop the financing in 2 or 3 years, they need to be sustainable. So with this project, they can build up their own tables, but also they can sell them to make a social business and also to promote table tennis, of course. So this will be a course. This is a course that we teach together with Pink Sans Frontières, which is the French NGO, which is our partner, and we're working together on this project. And there will be 4 different models of tables. The first one is a school desk. We produce 4 different school desks. The children can use them on the school, but then put the 4 of them together, a net in the middle, and they can learn and play table tennis. Table in kit, table with recycled material, and the trestle table. So as you can see here, there are 4 different levels of difficulties and also the cost, from low to higher. And we are refining the production of these tables. We are on this stage. The first test course was just done in Côte d'Ivoire, and we test 2 tables and its materials. And next stage, we will do a second test, working together with high performance and development in a way that we can offer to our social projects on the field, but the high performance and development can offer these courses to the ITTF member associations. TT for Health is the next program, sharing the health benefits of table tennis on a social, mental, and physical level. Our biggest project is the Parkinson's World Table Tennis Championships. We have our 2nd edition this year in Berlin last month, after 2 postponements. And we did a survey after that. There were 139 players, more than double from the first edition in New York in 2019, and 24 different countries, and duplicating the participation from the first edition. And another project is TT United, as I mentioned before. This is the 3 brands of the ITTF group together and united to support the table tennis community in the difficult period of the pandemic. And more than $400,000 have been raised and redistributed to the ITTF family. And today, I can say 101 supported initiatives. If you are facing some challenges because of the pandemic, go to the website tabletennisunited.org, and you can see also the link on the homepage of the ITTF website. Ping Pong Diplomacy is the 5th program. Table tennis as a platform for dialogue, and the ITTF group declared next year, the biennial of the Ping Pong Diplomacy, because it's the 50th anniversary of the original actions between China, United States mainly, but also with other countries being present. So this year, next year, celebrations over the Ping Pong Diplomacy. We started at the World Championship for people with Parkinson's in Berlin, but there will be celebrations and commemorations in Houston 2021 this year. You can see a photo of the unified team, or the players that play afterwards unified in South and North Korea. And we also signed a refugee pledge with our partner UNHCR, the UN Refugee Agency, where we committed to promote and ensure the access for refugees to table tennis, to provide equipment and sporting facilities, and to provide training and learning opportunities for them. So now I would like to pass the word to our foundation ambassador, IOC member, ITTF Executive Committee member, and also an Olympic gold medalist in Athens 2004, also a good friend. I would like to give the floor to Ryu Sen-min.
Thank you very much, Leandro, and dear members. Thanks for giving me this great opportunity. I'm really honored. On behalf of the ITTF Foundations, I wish to welcome you all once again. My name is Seung-min Ryu, Olympic champion at 2004 Athens, and IOC member and president of the table tennis, Korean Table Tennis Associations. Today, I have the honor to speak to you about the ITTF Foundation and all the good work this organization is doing to improve the lives of the people we encounter. We have been able to push forward as we developed many meaningful projects, thanks to your help, continuous interest, and support. I want to take this opportunity to commend the noble work being done by the foundation in various parts of the world. From dream building with the refugees to using table tennis to increase the awareness of people with a certain disease, I must say that I feel very much at home working with these great organizations. In times of crisis and uncertainty, meaningful organizations like the ITTF Foundation are needed more than ever. People look to us for support and guidance during uncertain times, and we get a sense of fulfillment knowing that we can be that helping hand in times of need. I want to take a moment to talk about two of our foundation projects that has meant a great deal to me. First is the ping pong diplomacy. As you all know, there was once a time not too long ago when North and South Korean athletes would refuse to play against each other in the competitions. Especially 2018 Hamsa World Table Tennis Championships, it was a great moment. Thanks to the support of this ITTF and the ITTF Foundation, an initiative to have a unified team was achieved. This led to our teams playing together side by side in several World Tour competitions. It is a wonderful legacy for both Koreas. Another unforgettable and valuable experience in my life was a dream building with a refugee project in the Jatari camp in 2018. I was deeply moved by the refugee camp children's passion for table tennis. Even though they lack in facilities, coaches, and equipment, this did not stop their passion to play table tennis. I believe that kind of passion is important, and the ITTF Foundation should strive to use table tennis as a tool for development and peace by connecting people who have that same passion. These are just two moments of many that I will never ever forget. I will be forever grateful for what we have been able to accomplish through table tennis and goodwill. It makes me very proud to know that regardless of history, cultural background, and age, nothing can bring people together like a game of table tennis. Don't take it lightly when I say table tennis can change the world. Whether you realize it or not, your contributions to the ITTF Foundation are doing just that, changing the world. I want to encourage all players to continue their support of the ITTF Foundations. Thank you to each and every one of you have ever given to one of our causes. The foundations has had a tremendous impact in the world through table tennis, and we, as table tennis players, all have the ability to become an ambassador and engage the world through one of our projects. Let's all show solidarity and unity through table tennis and the ITTF Foundations. We are very proud of the work that we are doing. Of course, now let's each and every one of us participate together as great ambassadors. Thank you for listening. Thank you very much, Leandro. Thank you all.
Our pleasure, Seung-min, Ryu Seung-min. It's a pleasure to come with you as an ambassador and representing the ITTF Foundation. I will continue. We will finish this block where we were talking about the past and the present, and I will pass to a second part of this video conference, which is about our future and an outlook on projects and programs outlook. So the ITTF Foundation has been working this year, and also the ITTF Group, on updating the strategic plan, and we wanted to hear the opinion of all our stakeholders. That's why we sent out a comprehensive survey to all ITTF member associations, executive committee members, board of directors, the different committees, but not only within the ITTF family, also to a different organization working on sport for development and peace, and also we sent out to our field projects a lot of different kind of stakeholders, and these are so far the results. We received 214 answers from 89 countries. We are processing this information. We thank all of you that answer. We are processing that, and this will be highly considered for our updated strategic plan. So in your opinion, what are the top 3 values that the ITTF Foundation should exhibit? Solidarity, sustainability, inclusiveness, but also we see importance on transparency, quality, and respect. You can see all this in the graphic. But for the 2022 outlook, I would like to invite my colleague Karin to give you a presentation, or to continue with this presentation and these topics.
Hi again, everyone. So, as Leandro mentioned, looking back to the presentation, perfect, thank you. So the outlook for 2022, or looking ahead rather to 2022, we have quite a lot installed, quite a lot planned, and I hope it will be beneficial for you as members. The Dream Building Fund, Ping Pong Diplomacy, Parkinson World Table Championship, Sustainability, Tables for All, World Table Tennis Day, and Fempowerment. I'll go in a little bit of detail with all of them, especially the key dates. So, first of all, starting with Dream Building. In April 2022, we will be starting 5 new projects, the ones we're currently selecting. They are going to make us reach our peak of 18 projects in the field that we're going to support. And then we're also looking to improve our monitoring evaluation and capacity building. So Dream Building projects will be on a high for us next year. With regards to Ping Pong Diplomacy, as you heard from Leandro, we have the biennial this year and next year, celebrating the 50 years of Ping Pong Diplomacy. And this year's theme with World Table Tennis Day will be Peace on the Table. The most actions will be taking place in Houston and Chengdu, but also for World Table Tennis Day, which I will talk about later. With regards to TT for Health, we have the 3rd edition of the Parkinson World Table Tennis Championship taking place in Croatia. The exact dates will come by the end of next month, likely, but we're looking at September, October 2022. And at the end of this year, you should expect and look out for all of those interested, the 2023 and 2024 bidding process for Parkinson World Table Tennis Championships. So we invite all of you to bid for this and host this wonderful event. For ITTF Legacy, which is a little bit what we understand as sustainability, it's a bit the backbone of the foundation. We're looking for all of your input as member associations and continental federations as we step towards sustainability and we work with the working group on the priorities for in the future. And last but not least, TT for All. Here we have a big program with tables for all that are still being tested. So we have a second test course. We also have the first training course that is to be expected in the second half of the training of the year, where we will be going and delivering trainers, and World Table Tennis Day next year, so in April 6th. I hope you all know that day by now. As I said, the topic will be Peace on the Table, and we're doing this on 2 different levels. So we're looking at the more high level, which will be more an online stream with the continental federations, and on the grassroots level, because we really feel like we could give the tools for everyone to do something in terms of mediation and dialogue and nonviolent communication. So there will be a toolkit coming out for World Table Tennis Day this year as well. And last but not least, fempowerment and gender equity. So as a follow-up from last year's World Table Tennis Day, we realized this is really a need, and we are looking to work more on gender equity in the coming years. And on this note, we would like to start with a concrete action, which is signing the Brighton Declaration, following in the footsteps of ITTF. And for this we have Jame Motibi joining us. And I have the pleasure to pass the mic to you, Jame. And she's from the International Working Group on Women in Sport, board member, and her and Leandro will be signing the declaration right now in front of you, and we invite all of you to do the same in the coming years. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And I'm always happy to join table tennis family, because that is where my sport, my career in sport has started, in table tennis. So it's my pleasure to be here with you today. And we are going to be signing the IWG Declaration, which started as a declaration, Brighton Declaration, established in 1994 and updated in 2014. And it contains 10 principles, which are meant for ITTF Foundation to implement, or including the strategy, and then cascade to their members. So it is important that we sign the declaration, because it's a roadmap to support the more fair and equitable systems of sport and physical activity, to make sure that we have an equal and full inclusion of women and girls in sport. So I am going to be signing this declaration as a formal endorsement of the Brighton plus Helsinki 2014 Declaration on Women in Sport, endorsing that the ITTF Foundation is going to be part of the IWG family and is going to be implementing the declarations. And I'll be signing on behalf of IWG board, co-chair, Raywen, and the IWG board members, as well as the IWG family. Thank you so much.
I'm Jiran Kachi from South Africa, ITTF Gender Commissioner. The ITTF Foundation has signed the Brighton Declaration. Khami and the IWG board member has signed it, and the ITTF Foundation, Leandro, you will sign it on behalf of the ITTF Foundation. What does it mean to sign the declaration? It demonstrates the ongoing commitment to equality in our sport. If we are committed to ensure women's empowerment and to have a real and lasting impact on our sport that we love, we cannot compete with the exclusion of some of our family. We cannot exclude them. The following groups for me is very important and should receive priority when programs are designed and funded to promote inclusivity. It's women and girls, people with a disability, our youth, our aged, our rural communities, the refugees, wherever in the world we have our family that's playing table tennis. It is important that the declaration that each and every country will sign commits themselves to these priorities. I want to thank you, Leandro. I know you serve on the on the Para Commission for Gender Equality, and you're doing a great work through the ITTF Foundation. From me, countries, my colleagues, friends, presidents, secretaries, I encourage all of you to sign the declaration, the Brighton Declaration. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your words. As Hajira and Leandro mentioned before, we want to get active in the field. It's not just a gesture that we want to sign a paper, we want to get active.
Hi again, everyone. Thanks a lot, Uke. So we looked in terms of sustainability more at a bit like the poll at people, planet, profit, and thanks a lot for everyone that contributed to it. We looked at three main questions. The first one being providing examples of concerns in terms of people, planet, profit for member associations and stakeholders. The examples from there were mainly on the planet and the profit side, which is interesting. There was a little bit of people concerns, mainly due on diversity and how to ensure there's diversity within the group, which relates well to what the work of the foundation is doing. But there was a lot of, maybe also due to COVID, some financial sustainability concerns and a lot of ecological mainly, which is really great input. The second question was on examples of best practices that have been seen around. These were also around reducing carbon and plastic and looking at other sports potentially, which is also quite interesting. And then the last question was expectations from the working group. And here there were to have some targets such as carbon neutral organizations and maybe having some best practice examples of what they can do concretely as members of the association. So thanks a lot for this, and we will be working definitely on this topic. And the most important also for you to know and bear in mind is that there will be a survey coming by the end of the year to all member associations and continental federations, and we really value your input and we look forward to receiving this, because it really can help us shape where we are and understand also what we need and what you need. So thanks a lot.
We had a very productive session on fempowerment and gender equity. We started with a poll as well, where we discussed how satisfied the organizations are, respectively, with the gender balance. And interestingly, a majority of the participants stated that they were unsatisfied or very unsatisfied. Some of the participants were satisfied, some were even very satisfied. But essentially, the responses came across a spectrum to say that gender equity and balance currently does not exist across all of the levels. In some cases, it is good at the top level. In some cases, it is good at the player and athlete level, but it is not uniform at all. One of the key responses was, we have a good balance at the board level, but when it comes to the players, coaches at the lower level, it is very unsatisfying. Similarly, or rather in contrast, a response that came in was with regard to the ITTF. At the board level, it is not very strong, but at the management level, it is reasonably better. Then we went into the question of whether the organization has sufficient female representation in decision-making positions. Some of the participants said that they have at least 40% female representation at the top level, but not so much at the lower level. And some of the other participants basically said that there is good balance, while some others said that there is not enough and there is more work to be done. We basically wanted to address the questions around what are the key barriers to positive gender balance and how we can basically work towards eradicating those barriers. Some of the barriers that were pointed out was lack of organization vision or weaker policies when it comes to promoting opportunities and leadership for women. not enough women participants in general in the sport, starting from the grassroots level. And one of the key points of feedback that came through was we need to focus on the environment of the sport itself to make sure that it's more welcoming. And some of the solutions were collecting data from the participants to identify the problems, learning from others, learning from ourselves, better monitoring and evaluation, qualitative research with regard, including the participants, as well as greater promotion of our female athletes. And when it actually comes to what we can do to support this objective as a foundation, the feedback that we got was to improve investments in formation and engagement of women in table tennis, capacity building to support partners, and through empowerment, gender mainstreaming across all of our programs and projects. So some really key points of discussion from that breakout group here that will hold the foundation in good stead. Back to you, Kareem.
Yes, I'm here. Hello, everyone. I would like first to thank the ITTF Foundation for inviting me here today. Let me introduce myself quickly. I'm Maysab Saibis from Lebanon. I am an IOC Young Leader, and I was one of the promoters of the World Table Tennis Day 2021, representing the Lebanese Table Tennis Federation. Thank you all for contributing to the breakout room exercise. I will briefly recap the main points that we discussed during the World Table Tennis Day breakout room. First, what we did is a quick overview about the World Table Tennis Day, and then 2 questions were asked. The aim of these questions was to let each person, each association begin brainstorming and analyzing if any kind of conflict is currently happening in their country, in their community, and if so, how table tennis can be a tool to transform these conflicts into creating peace. So suppose your country or your neighborhood is facing conflict. How would you respond to this situation? Do you think that table tennis can solve conflict, and how? So everybody shared what kind of conflict they are dealing with in their day life. The majority named border regions, religious, political, racial, drug trafficking kind of conflict, and then we tried to find solution on how to tackle them using table tennis, which conducted to approach that we need more expansion to opportunities to participate in official championship and etc. And we're out of time. So at the end, whatever the nation is, it's the people that matters. And I invite you all to join the ITTF Foundation for the World Table Tennis Day 2022 in line of the 50th anniversary of ping pong diplomacy by using table tennis to solve conflict between different parties and regions, and to address the goal number 16. So what are you waiting for? Let us all inspire people through table tennis. Now I hand over Her Royal Highness, Princess Zaina Rashid of Jordan. Thank you.
It is a true pleasure to participate in this video conference, and I'd like to thank Leandro and the team for all the hard work and the passion that they bring to all the Foundation's projects and programs. I'd like to start by saying that our sport truly is a universally unifying factor that has the power to bring people together from every walk of life, transcending barriers from grassroots all the way to the state level, as history has shown with ping pong diplomacy. And as Leandro mentioned in his earlier, to mark the 50th anniversary of ping pong diplomacy, 2021 and 2022 has been declared as the PPD biennial for the ITTF group. In addition, it will be the topic for the World Table Tennis Day 2022. In our breakout room, our discussion was focused on 3 main questions. Firstly, was what does ping pong diplomacy mean to you? And we had a varied responses, mainly that ping pong diplomacy is a platform for dialogue. It has the ability to bring different cultures together through table tennis. It is a tool for conflict resolution and peace through table tennis. And it is an important way to use sport to create dialogue and resolve issues of national interest. In addition, our colleague from the STTA, from the Sierra Leone Table Tennis Association, also mentioned the role of ping pong diplomacy for community building and female empowerment. The second question that we discussed was what can be done for ping pong diplomacy on each level. So the answers were mainly centered around uniting people from different regions, using ping pong diplomacy as a platform for understanding through table tennis, developing actions, specific actions for conflict resolution, and of course, unity and peace through sport. The third and final question was, what can you do for ping pong diplomacy during World Table Tennis Day? And to this question, the responses were to bring different stakeholders together for World Table Tennis Day would be a key point. Motivate and support table tennis national organizations. Select any ongoing conflict to be addressed and solved through table tennis through specific actions on the ground. And consider local challenges and conflicts and create networks during World Table Tennis Day. And bring conflicting groups together. Thank you again, everyone, for the valuable input and for this fruitful discussion and conference. Thank you. Over to you, Leandro.
Who attended this very long session, 1 hour and a half already. Thank you very much for your interest in the ITTF Foundation. We still would like to have a couple of minutes of your time. We are now here together to answer all of your questions. I had some questions coming in through the private chat before, so I would like to start with these. But please feel free to use the chat or raise your hands and ask any question you have before we hand over to Bruce Burton at the end, our ITTF Vice President and ITTF Foundation Governing Board member, to summarize the whole conference. So one of the very interesting questions I got was, how can we sign the Brighton and Helsinki Plus Declaration?
Thanks. Good question, and it's worth to mention the ITTF already signed the Brighton Declaration years ago, but now the foundation also wanted to join this declaration and this commitment. And if you want to sign the declaration as a national association, you can follow the link that will be published on the chat of this Zoom meeting. So through this link, you can join and you can get the information how to sign. And this is what we will expect. We will hope that most or all the ITTF member associations sign this Brighton Declaration.
Thank you very much, Leandro. So another question coming in related to World Table Tennis Day. The question is about what can we do this year or next year for World Table Tennis Day? What can we do for World Table Tennis Day 2022? Karine, this is for you.
Thanks a lot for the question. So World Table Tennis Day this year, this 2022 will be on peace on the table or around the table. So everything that you can do that is linked to ping pong diplomacy or conflict transformation or reduction of violence in your community is more than welcome. As mentioned, we will be working on 2 different levels. We're trying to explain and show through this toolkit that is going to come out by the end of the year how anyone in their community can contribute. So it's really a grassroots tool. So we have that level where anyone is welcome, and our team will share the links, maybe if they can, in the chat. And so there are 2 ways to register. One is if you're an everyday person and you really want to change something in your community and do an event and celebrate with and join us. The other level is more on a diplomacy level and a high level, and here there will also be a contribution from the continental federations who will be leading an event here, and it'll be a live stream. So we're really looking forward to all this.
Yes, as you mentioned, Karine, yeah, we expect to have events on each continent next year. Each continent should organize on April 6th an event related to the ping pong diplomacy, and our plan is to live stream those 5 events and more activities related to World Table Tennis Day and ping pong diplomacy on April 6th next year. Okay.
Thank you very much, Leandro. Thank you very much, Karine. Dear audience, I can't see any further questions in the chat, or I can't see any hands raised. So I would like now to give the floor to Bruce Burton to summarize the conference. In case you leave this conference and you have any more questions, we are reachable, of course. Email, WhatsApp, phone, internet page, whatever you want. Please feel free to reach out and we are happy to answer. Now I hand over to Bruce Burton. Bruce, the floor is yours to summarize the conference. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Webke. Recognizing that we've gone a little bit over time, of course, I'll try and keep this as short as possible. I'd like to begin by saying hello to everyone from all corners of the globe. It's very good to see the number of people that have joined in this first pre-AGM conference. Very much appreciate your participation. For the range of speakers and the foundation staff who've put a lot of effort into this, I also thank you very much. I'd like to point out that from the very beginning, President Weickard pointed out the structure of the ITTF group and its three components: the ITTF, World Table Tennis, and the foundation. And it's very important that we recognize the respective role and mandate of each part of the group, but also the power of working together to make our sport as best it can be. Throughout the session, we saw the focus on fempowerment and sustainability. We're building that into our initiatives and our actions, especially with fempowerment and sustainability, that hopefully in the not too distant future we achieve gender balance and equity, and that our sport is sustainable and inclusive to all, of course. The projects for 2022 have been summarized in the presentations, and I suggest that all of you take some time to go to the foundation website, and you'll find much more information, much more detailed on the range of projects that fortunately we're getting out of this pandemic era somewhat and getting into restarting of many activities. I don't think I can possibly say it better than our IOC member Ryu Seng-Ming said earlier, but the passion of working with the foundation and the foundation activities is very rewarding for all of us. And I encourage all of you involved in this conference today to reach out and become involved. It offers the very best for our sport for the future. Thank you for this, and I'll just a plug for the High Performance and Development and Member Relations Conference coming up on October 21st. With that, I'll turn back to Leandro. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Bruce, for your summary and your wise words. As usual, I would like to end up this video conference with the whole team here. Thank you very much for your attention. And as you know, we are always reachable through a lot of different channels: email, WhatsApp, or telephone. You can reach us. And thank you for your time. And I would like to invite you for the next video conferences. There are 9 before the annual general meeting on the 24th of November in Houston. The next video conference, as Bruce mentioned, is High Performance and Development, together with Members Relations. That will be on the next Thursday at the same time, starting at 1 p.m. Central European Summer Time. Thanks for your attention, and see you next time. Bye-bye. Bye.